I'm Cade Crowder, owner of Speedy 3D LLC, and this is 3D Printing a Speaker Part 2.
In the previous video, we laid the groundwork for our speaker design by choosing our materials and running a simulation. In this video, we will be creating all the 3D models needed to 3D print the speaker. Overall, this speaker took me roughly 4 hours to draw. This was because I focused on making the parts more easily printable. Since we designed the magnetic structure in 2D last video, I decided to use that as the starting point for my 3D model. The only things that differ from my 2D simulation are the height of the center cap and the radius on the center hole. This was to help further smooth the magnetic field and create better airflow from behind the cone. Finally, I added 4 M5 holes to the outside of the magnet structure. These will be used later to mount the frame. The frame was challenging to design because I had to incorporate 2 surfaces for mounting the flexible cone supports while also allowing for a mounting flange. I was able to minimize overhangs by making the frame angled, but this made making the mounting holes a bit more difficult. After playing with various countersinking styles, I was able to create a surface for the eventual mounting bolts to rest on. The last addition I made to the frame was a ring of holes to help minimize the amount of material and allow for airflow behind the cone. I made the coil former and cone as a single piece since there's not much surface area outside the cone. I also used the calculations we did for our coil size in the last video to help me create an inset in the coil former for our copper windings. I then added a chamfer to the inside of the coil to allow us to mount a dust cap on after the speaker is assembled. The top support for a speaker, also known as a surround, is usually made as a semicircle. That shape allows enough material for the cone to move up and down without deforming the material significantly. A modification usually added to this shape, which I also decided to incorporate, is to make the surround slightly taller than a simple circle would dictate. This will allow for even more vertical travel in our cone. I designed the lower support in a similar fashion to the surround. However, I made one key design change. Since its main job is to control the coil, I used 2 rolls of material instead of 1. This will help minimize the left to right travel of the cone, but still allow for efficient travel in the vertical direction. The finishing touch to our speaker design was to add a dust cap to cover the center of the speaker. This will ensure that we utilize all the surface area of the cone as well as prevent debris from getting inside of our speaker. So here's a cutaway of the final 3D model. In the next video, we will finally begin to bring this design to life by printing these models in our selected materials.
If you're looking for someone to help you with creating a prototype, or you want to print a 3D model, click the link in our bio to learn more about Speedy 3D LLC. Thanks for watching.